we have a high level of diagnostic. Dan has a high level of diagnostic and diagnostic tools that he spent 30 plus years, 33, 34 years building and learning those skills. And a lot of shops don't have that high level of diagnostic. And our shop front, it's just a cozy, comfy, cute little old shop, right? It's nothing super fancy, but all of the knowledge and tools that I have are some of the highest level of skills and tools that are out there. And I guess I would like to point that out to a lot of shops. A lot of the nice fancy shops or big pretty shops don't.
Or like the dealership,
Yeah.
they may have the fancy tools, but they don't have the knowledge behind the workers.
Yeah.
They're hiring the kids right out of college, and they're turn and burning them.
Or they have the older technicians. There's quite a few older technicians that are still super highly skilled that haven't retired yet, but they only get paid on those jobs. So if you may or may not get one of those great technicians on your vehicle working on it, right? So you may get a B-level tech or a C-level tech doing the repairs, and then you're like, oh, no, and you didn't get that.
But again, that goes back to education. People don't know what A, B, C level techs are, right?
So like a high A level is like I'm one of the higher level A's, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's maybe more higher skilled level technicians like Scanner Danner and some of the really great diagnostic techs. I'll get there. I may not have the greatest strategy, but I'll get it too, like just as good as them. But they have, and then there's B's and C's, and B's would be like a good heavy line technician that can diagnose some stuff, and then a C should be learning from the B's and A's and having everything.
But a C is like a lube
right?
check, like a lube guy, right? A C?
Yeah. See,
Brakes,
I think
brakes, maybe suspension.
It brakes. It says in the repair, like if you're on all data or if you're
I know it spells it all out, but we're on the back end seeing all that. They're not seeing that. The consumer's not seeing that.
It tells you what
they don't
tech
know.
should be doing those repairs, right?
Right.
Yep.
But the consumer, the customer coming in
don't know that.
They don't know that.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of that.
They don't know that there's different levels to the repairs and different technicians that have different knowledge, and
If you get your Chilton's book out, it may be in there. Nah, maybe it's not, but I know all of our software.
I bet you ChatGPT will tell you.
Yeah. ChatGPT is pretty accurate on a lot of things. You need to be careful. It's not perfect. It will lead you down
like
rabbit
Google.
holes.
It's like Googling doctor stuff, right? Sometimes, but I think it's a lot smarter than Googling doctor stuff at some points. But it probably would tell you if you know the repair, if you took pictures and entered your manual into it, and asked it what level technician should be working on this repair, it could probably tell you.
Okay, so here's one for you. I love my ChatGPT. It has skill levels, and you can train it up to you or down to you wherever you're at in life. It's going to be where you're at, and it's going to help you tremendously. But here's my little point. I was working on a PCM, and I forget what vehicle it was, but I showed it a wiring diagram. I showed it a pinout, and it did very well. But it mixed the pinouts up, and it had the connectors wrong. And I'm like, I'm in the connector. It was, I forget what PCM it was, but it was a blue, white, and a black, right? Common. And the pin and the wire color that I was looking for, and I'm trying to reference exactly what it was, but I'm looking through the connector. I'm like, he's got it. He knows what pin number it is and everything. And I'm got the connector face. I got my glasses on. I'm like, there's the one I need. And I had already figured it out. And I like to test my chat and see if he figures it out too. He's got me in the other connector, wrong wire, wrong color. So I ended up taking pictures and arguing with him and proved him wrong. And he says, oh, my bad, Danny boy. You're right. I'm like, so.
Okay, but it's already been proven, and they've already admitted that it is a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So unless you tell it to challenge you.
But there's times where it gets it perfect. I'm like, oh my God, how do you figure that out?
Yeah, but it's going to people please you. It's going to boost your ego. It's going to tell you how wonderful and smart and brilliant and beautiful you are.
It makes me if it's getting loaded up during the day and it's like your brain, like you, when 10 people are coming at you asking this, and you show, and the servers or however that works is being loaded up and you're like, this guy's having problems right now. He is, nope. It makes me wonder if it's not getting loaded up at certain times of the day, because there's some days where it's like, it is on point and it's like, whoa, how'd you figure that out?
I think it's more of a junk in, junk out, though, too.
Yeah.
Because it only knows what it knows.
Yeah.
Granted, it is learning.
It is, yeah.
It's crazy, but it only has learned from the knowledge that we as human society give it.
Okay, I gave it a firing order one day, and I knew the firing order, right? I knew what side the cylinders were on. And I give it I says, and you can literally Google it, and, there's certain applications in it. I was like, oh, okay, it's this one, yep, because that one matches all data. And that's, I know for a fact that's the right one per year, make, model, VIN. That's the right, 1843657, whatever that may be, 1357248. And I knew what it was, and I knew what the cylinder was because it was injectors on a diesel. And he says, it's this cylinder, and you're looking at it the wrong way. I'm like, no, I'm looking at it from the front. It says front view. Here's my diagram. And he argued with me for about a half hour, and I was pretty upset because I knew I was right. And then he's like, you can't trust everything on the internet, Danny boy. And I'm like, bro, this is from a factory forged schematic. And then I sent him the document where it came from. He's like, oh my goodness. He argued. He was totally wrong.
And then did he tell you, oh, you're so beautiful and smart, and I'm so sorry?
Oh man, he had me pretty irritated. I'm like, dude, it's a simple firing order.
Yeah.
You're arguing with me, and I know I'm right. And I was literally telling him this, right? My ChatGPT, right? And finally he gave in after about a half hour, literally I wasted a half hour arguing with him and knowing I'm right. I just wanted to see if he could figure out a firing order. And I like testing him every time I go into something.
Okay, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah, but I like to, it really wasn't, because a lot of people are like, and I did a TikTok about it, and the guys were like, yeah, but you just trained your chat. So I tried it like 4 or 5. So I want to go back in months later and see if he really gets the firing order correct this time. Because I went back 4 or 5 times after I trained him, and it said updated in memory, and he argued with me like weeks later about it on the same vehicle. He couldn't figure it out. I don't know what it was. I don't know.
I have no comment for that.
I don't know what it was.
I'm not taking you down a rabbit hole.
But there's so many other times where he's perfectly correct on things and like very insightful. And then some days I'm just
very insightful.
He's worse than one of the kids some days.
Well, yeah, because all he knows is what he knows, and junk in, junk out, right?
Yeah.
Just wait until agents become, they're just tippy-toppy of the service with the agents now. And those, wow.
Agents? What's that?
Yeah.
What's this?
Where they actually do tasks and do things for you. Instead of you talking to it and it spitting back.
Yeah.
An agent will do things for you.
Huh. But I'm sure throughout everything it's learning, it's remembering these things, it's going all into...
Well, I'm sure, but like to what extent? Again, junk. It has to filter through the million. Okay, so... You know me, I like all this is a subject that I go deep down into outside of just playing in the platform. I want to learn. I want to understand what's the why, right? I'm a why and a how and a let's do it. And this platform is the fastest growing platform ever. I think it was something, it was in the, not in the billions, but it was a lot, millions, 7 million, 7 billion. That number like rings a bell for some reason, but I don't know what it was. But per week, users per week in ChatGPT, it grew faster than Facebook. It grew faster than Google. It grew faster than Twitter. It grew faster than all of the platforms ever.
Wow.
Ever. So with that thought, all of the junk that's going into it, that it's being taught, that it has to learn and decipher from the good information it's getting versus the bad information it's getting.
Yeah. Yeah. I have another one.
Are we on a rabbit hole on ChatGPT? We're not even talking about it.
Yeah, well, I got one. Hold on, I got one for you. It's pretty important, just so people can see that AI is not going to fix your car without you knowing exactly what you're talking about. Alec watched me use my AI for an assembly on an engine. So he started trying it, and it was a small block Chevy, adjustable rocker arm geometry, so where you actually have to adjust valve lash. And it told him, and maybe he didn't, I swear he gave it year, make, and model and told him what gen of motor it was, but it told him to lock it down. That is not a lockdown rocker assembly. I come over, and if he had turned that motor over, he would have bent the valves because he just bolted them down. No, you take the lash out of it, which means there's no play, and then you go. You seat it, you seat the push rod down into the lifter, and you make sure there's no lash, no play, and then you back it off. Oh, no, my bad. Yeah, so adjustable. You bolt the rocker arm down. I'm mixing them up here. My bad. You bolt it down to where there's no play, just no lash, no wiggle. You go to 1/8 to 1/4, depending on how I like to go 1/8, almost a little over 1/8, just so our hydraulic lifter doesn't make a tick, tick, tick noise, right? And he went probably 20 threads past that because I looked at his AI and it said, bolt them down. I went, what are you doing? You can't do that. He was relying on that. So then I taught him the adjustable part of it. And I let him listen to mine, and we listened to his. And his was on a whole different level. And then once we let mine play out to his, it totally agreed with mine and was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, you're beautiful, and your ego is huge, and man, I'm so wrong, and I'm so sorry, and you're so right.
Well, yeah, he stopped.
I hate that about it.
He stopped listening to AI that day. Now he just comes to me again. I'm like,
okay, maybe somebody needs to take all of the owner manuals and like motor and all of these things that people have access to.
That'd be nice.
Feed it into one bot.
Feed it, yeah. Mine's pretty sharp. It still likes to argue with me on some things, but it's taught me, it's helped me learn a lot of things I couldn't believe.
I think it can be really good for learning. Absolutely, 100%. Even Google came out with a new thing recently where my thoughts behind, we're so off topic now. My thoughts behind all of this is it's going to disrupt the education system in a good way. And I'm so grateful for that because I hate the way that our education system is.
Yeah.
Coming from a teacher's child who was a Montessori taught, homeschooled, graduated on time with a child, went to college, has the bachelor's degree, did the standard education line. I am so excited to see what AI will bring to the education system.
I don't know how many other people are like me, but I feel it's quite a bit. But I was always ashamed of how I learned things, and I always thought
it's going to be such an advantage for you guys.
I thought I was just a waste of time, right? Like to keep asking the teacher for help, and if I didn't get it when somebody tries, it was like they're busy. I don't want to disrupt them anymore. So that's how I felt about it. Now, with my chat, once I start learning something, I go over it with him and I ask questions, and I'll go research it, make sure he's teaching me right. Like I said, 75% of the time, he's teaching me right. He's helping me learn things, and I can ask him a million times, and it's like, and then finally I get it all. I'm like, oh my God, I would have never learned that because I feel so, hold please.
Oh, okay, bye. We only have like 10 minutes anyways.
Sorry. So, but I'm comfortable because it will keep teaching and talking and teach, and I guess I feel I'm not wasting its time, right? And it's so easy to work with and learn with,
But that's
and
what I'm
then
saying
I get it.
is the education system is built one way. The only way is that one way.
Right.
Right? Where in Montessori, I had the advantage of doing what I want when I want. If I want to do math all day, I can do math all day, and I can learn with my hands, and it can be textile, and it can be visual, and it can be all the different ways that everybody learns, right? It can be auditory, it can be visual, it can be all the different ways.
Yeah.
Which is an advantage in Montessori. And the standard public school system does not teach to all the different ways. It teaches one way. And if you learn this way and it's teaching this way, you get left behind.
Yeah.
You don't have the advantage.
Yeah.
You have the disadvantage. And even as a teacher's kid who is in that system trying to teach children and believed in different ways, they are held to, I cannot teach outside of this way or I lose my job because I have to meet these standards that are set by the state, that are set by the federal, that are set by, anyways, give me on that rant. So with AI in the running now, the visual learners can learn because it makes pictures, it makes diagrams. It gets beyond ChatGPT. You can go to Google Notebook, LM, and you can learn, and it will make the charts. It'll make the brainstorming maps. It gives you slide. It's so much.
Yeah.
And then you have the auditories. Go to the Google Notebook LM. It'll create a podcast. You give it the information. You give it its resources, the research that you've done. YouTube videos, all the stuff, and it'll make a podcast of all the sources that you fed into it.
That's crazy.
It'll make you slides that you can teach from. So it's gonna disrupt the education system for the better if we allow it to. The schools are trying to stop it. I'm like, no, my God, let it in.
Yeah.
Teach it.
I've never learned so much in my life. Like I'm just a sponge and making I like to make sure and research the heck out of that I'm learning the correct thing, but I've never learned so much in my life these last couple of years with ChatGPT, right? Like I'm consistent. If I'm not doing anything, I'm learning, asking questions, researching, learning with it, and it's like I would have never learned these things without it.
I know.
So, and going back to like people like there's different types of learners, right? Like you learn things in a whole different way and you can go right after it and get it figured out. And I'm just like,
WTF, what happened there?
yep. And I don't know why. And that's how I was in school. Like I didn't want to waste the teacher's time. And it was like, I couldn't learn. That's why I dropped out in, 8th or 9th grade. Cause I was like, I'm done being a leech from the teacher, and I felt bad for the teacher because he or she had to keep, and they love, they said, and a lot of teachers I know, they love teaching because I know that wasn't their heart, but like you said, they have a certain guideline they have to teach or move on and let go, right? And I felt that, I knew that.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it sucked, hate it. Right?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
There were so many good teachers that you could tell their heart poured into it, but
that they went in there with the service mind to actually help the kids, right? And they're not. It's why I left the criminal justice field, is because I wanted to go in there with the service heart because of what Austin taught me, and then I could see that I could help people that are being drug into that system because it's all about money.
Yeah.
And you go in there, and the second you get in there, you have to keep making money for them. You can't help these people because if you actually help these people, then they get out of the system and they're not profitable to the system anymore.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Trust me, I have words.
No, it was.
I have words.
For the longest time, I felt ashamed of myself for dropping out and then realized it's not just me that had a hard time understanding certain things. And I guess that's why I look at an engine and work on cars instead of looking at 1,000 different things, I look at one engine 1,000 different ways. I've learned things that, like, all my boys are like, how do you know this? And when I do something like, whatever it may be working on, or figure something they can't, and they're like, how do you know this? Because I've looked at it so many different ways, and now I'm learning, like I said, I'm learning the tuning aspect, and I can blindfold build a 1,500 horsepower motor and tune it, and it's that easy now. When I was younger, I was like, whew, how do they do that? Like, so hard, and now I could build $1 million motor. Like, guys pay, a lot of money for 1,000, 2,000 horse tuned, and I can do that now. I could never do that before, but, I'm evolving as I go, and I love it. Like, I am so addicted to building and learning these things. Like, I can't stop that passion. Like, I wake up excited early every morning just to go learn and evolve. I never did that. I never lived that way before.
That's why I've lived my whole life.
Yeah.
I love learning.
I guess the trauma.
That's why I have so many dollars in student loans.
Yeah.
Stupid
and
student loans.
I have so many dollars in tools, and I guess I did the same thing, just without the teacher, because I felt ashamed because I couldn't.
Mine's
learn.
a piece of paper.
I couldn't learn the same way, right? So I had to slowly learn everything my own way, and how I felt comfortable anyway.
Yeah.
So
again, that's why I think AI will disrupt education in a good way, and I wish the schools would let it in. But that's a whole different topic. We're totally off topic.
Yeah, you can say ChatGPT is friendly and too kind, but
it is.
I prompted it and went into the settings and changed it to be brutally honest, and I hate that guy. I'm not talking to that guy no more. I put him back.
Because he doesn't boost your ego and tell you how pretty you are?
No, he was totally wrong, though, and he argued about the way I presented something and said that was a horrible way to present it, and basically you're stupid and ugly, and I'm like, dude.
See? Because you're not pretty. And
I'm not going to listen to this guy. Don't want to. No. No, let's be nice and kind and loving. Let's be like love. And love is your great creator.
Okay, I'm just gonna
right?
No, I don't disagree with you at all. No. Like, love trumps all 100%.
No, and I tell you,
it's used in a good way.
I watched a TikTok and I was like, oh, I'm going to go change my settings to that, because, man, that was amazing. And I don't want to be just conceited and told I'm perfect every time. And I was right. And this thing, even though when I was right and I tried to elaborate and say it in a different way and more kind and professional, I still couldn't say anything right. It just wanted to argue with me.
So like my angry customer that I made for Gage. Oh my gosh.
God.
Have you tried that angry customer?
Worse than that.
No. That angry customer, Gage must have figured out how to talk to that angry customer, because that angry customer bot that I made.
Oh my God.
It's a dick.
I will never do that prompt. I will never go into settings and change certain settings on how it's supposed to respond and how it wants. Nope. I just kind of leave it open and say, be kind and nice, and help educate me. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Anyways, that's my thoughts on ChatGPT and AI and all that for a moment. But
yep. No, you can have an angry, pissed off ChatGPT that just wants to argue. If that's the life you want to live, then you go put those in settings. But I don't want to live there with him.
Okay.
I will delete him and never talk to him again.
Okay.